Listen, this is just me, but I believe women shouldn't have to approach men, and it should be men who are taking the initiative to approach women. But trust me, I understand we're living in a different time now, progressive times. And shoot, maybe she doesn't know if the man likes her, and she wants to make it known that she wants him. There's a lot of situations where a woman will choose to shoot her shot. But honestly, I do not want that main responsibility of what it is to be a man and approaching and taking initiative away from today's men. I honestly feel like the definition of what it is to be a man changes every generation that goes by. But anyway, besides that, if you are a woman who chooses to shoot her shot to a man, make sure you watch this whole video, as I'm going to be talking about some things you must and need to know from your guy, your internet brother, Sealz, the man, coming from the perspective of a man. In understanding the mind of men, you need to know this. As this is what this channel is all about, you should also understand the reactionary responses of men. And that is a huge part of understanding men, men's psychology, and all the above. The reason why I bring this up is because you will get different reactions from different types of men. If you choose to approach a man based on his mentality and where he's from, his reaction will be based on that. So we're going to talk about some of those things in today's video. Let's get to it. The first thing I want to suggest to you and make you aware of when it comes to approaching men as a woman is to never approach a man based on how you think he would like to be approached. Remain you always. One interesting mistake that I see a lot of women make when it comes to approaching men is that they try to match their masculinity. They try to match their energy, and that's not something you want to do when it comes to creating attraction or that type of connection with a guy that you're interested in. Instead, you want to be exactly who you are. And if he floats and connects with you on who you are, then that is a more authentic connection. Another reason why it's a mistake, especially when it comes to matching a man's masculinity, is because a man does not want to be with another man if he's straight. The special power of femininity when it comes to you as a woman is that it's the missing piece to masculinity. There is no real effectiveness in trying to match someone else. The most effective method in creating an attraction and a connection is being exactly who you are. Who you are is going to filter out those who want you and those who are for you, but also those who are against you or those who are resistant to the type of person you are. And then you move accordingly from there. Be who you are. Never match. The next thing I want you to be aware of, if you are a woman who's trying or thinking about approaching a man, is to be confident in yourself. Be confident in your queenship. Be confident in your femininity. As I can only imagine, as a man, it's already courageous enough for a woman to approach a man, especially since it's not a popular thing. For us, at least, we really don't see that a lot. There are not a lot of women out there who are going to approach a man. So the fact that you're doing this is not average. So do not let that nervousness affect you and mess your approach up. It seems like one of the most popular sayings these days when it comes to dating and relationships and attraction is, what do you bring to the table? And taking that popular saying, confidence is nothing but having the attitude of being the table. I am the table. And as a confident person, you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be boisterous. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be loud. Confidence is nothing but carrying your identity proudly. Be strong and stand strong in that. Don't be unwavering, because that will mess your whole approach up. All right? The next suggestion that your internet brother is going to give y'all when it comes to approaching men is to tell him exactly what made you approach him. Let me reiterate this for y'all. A lot of men, I won't say all because some men do get this, but a lot of men are not used to women approaching them or trying to holler at them or initiate anything with them. For most of us, we are the ones that initiate. We are the ones that are approached. So a woman approaching us is not a common thing at all whatsoever. So it is important for that woman, or you in this, if you're involved in this situation, to tell him exactly why you approach them. It's important because it will clear up any confusion that he may have. Because once again, this is not a common occurrence for a lot of men. And a lot of men will be confused as to why you're approaching him. He's probably thinking or even saying things like, what do you truly want? Is this a trick? Is this real? All these things will run through his head because he is not used to this. So when you are real and upfront, tell him exactly why you are approaching him. It can help clear up any confusion that he may have in his mind at that time. And once again, you do not have to tell him in a way that's matching his energy. You don't have to be all aggressive. You tell him in your way. Because another thing with this, which kind of mixes in with masculinity, is telling someone why you're interested in them. Because that is looked at by a lot of men as a man thing. A lot of men can be uncomfortable by this. As you see, this is a very tricky subject. So now that I've talked about the ways men can react or think when it comes to a woman approaching them, I'm going to give you some tips and suggestions that you should know for yourself outside of that man. And that is to be cautious of the type of man you are approaching. You need to know this. Common sense will tell you that approach does not automatically equate to aggression. But based on the type of man that you're approaching, he may feel like it is an act of aggression. You see, certain types of men were raised and taught in a certain way to not let women approach them or let women initiate things with them, or that they must initiate and lead and that they must approach. There are many reasons and levels to this ideology when it comes to certain men. But saying all that, just to let you know, it's a very real thing. You'll know very quickly too if this man thinks like this, and you'll be able to detect it. When a man is of this standing, he will not appreciate or accept any woman approaching him. These type of men will show you some kind of attitude, awkwardness, standoffness, or even aggression. And this is why it's such a tricky thing as a woman in approaching men. Also, I want you to know is to not take a man's reactions personally. Do not take any personal reactions as an attack on who you are or what you look like. Because once again, a lot of men are not used to this. So you might get some weird reactions. You might get some unexpected reactions. The most popular weird reaction I see a lot of men have when it comes to women approaching them is like a nervous laugh or a nervous giggle. Like, is this real? Like, what? Or they raise their eyebrows in a surprise face. You see, where I'm from, we call this bagging. When someone is trying to get someone, we call it bagging, like bagging groceries. When you approach someone, you're trying to bag them, put them in your bag. And a lot of men are not comfortable with women trying to bag them because they feel like, once again, it's a masculinity thing. Only men are supposed to do this. Some men might even give you a weird reaction because they feel like you're demeaning them. Like they may feel like it's offensive. So all these feelings that these type of men might have will cause some weird reactions. But one thing I want you to know is that it is not an attack on you. Once again, in fact, you are very courageous and brave for even doing this. You are brave for going after what you want. I respect anyone who goes after what they want in life. But when it comes to this, specifically when y'all are approaching men, I just want y'all to know these things. And if you are this type of woman, it's not to say that all men are soft, fragile emotionally. It's just to make you aware that there are a very wide spectrum of different types of reactions and men out there. And if you'd like to know more things like this, especially when it comes to the attraction and understanding the mind of men, make sure you check out my playlist on my channel. Specifically, the playlist called Understanding the Love Brain of Good Men. All right? So, peace and blessings. I will see y'all in my next video. Goodbye.